Focus on a couple things today on how do we grieve, how do we process what's happened, how do we make sense of it, how do we learn from this, and most importantly, how do we honor that person who's gone and step forward into growth from there. I want to start with some eye-opening stats that are scary, sad, and just plain evil. Because every year, 700,000 people take their own lives. Suicide right now is the second leading cause of death among people in their teens and early 20s. That's sad and scary. There's something going on bigger, right? But I want to focus on what we can do about it. And today I want to open up with this quote. It says, and to anyone out there who feels like they've tried everything already, please don't give up. If you're willing to try one more thing, hope is on the menu. If you guys remember one thing from today, remember that last part. Hope is on the menu. If you've got breath in your lungs, not dead, don't quit. There are too many caring adults in this building. If you don't have that at home, which I know some of you do and some of you don't, there are too many caring adults in this building who care about you. Okay, I always try to say you matter, plain and simple, right? Your life matters. But I want to share a story that's in the book of Luke, which is one of the Gospels in the Bible. And this person just basically took notes as they followed Jesus around, right? They were journaling along the way. And Jesus said some key words that kind of talk about what happened here recently. And I want to share them with you today. It's out of Luke chapter 15, verse 4. It says this. This is Jesus' words. Suppose one of you has 100 sheep and loses one of them. So being a shepherd back then was common. It was a very average job. It was a hard job. It was a lonely job. And so Jesus used the context of their day to tell a story. That's what he's doing right now. Suppose one of you has 100 sheep and loses one of them. Doesn't he leave the 99 in the open country and go after the lost sheep until he finds it? So if I can just summarize that story, it's pretty basic. There's 100 sheep. He's in charge of every single one of them. 99 of them are totally fine, doing what they're supposed to be doing, but there's one that just wandered away. And this shepherd, this person is going to go after that sheep and risk everything for that one sheep because he cares about it so much. That's perfect representation of what Jesus is for us. There are so many of us that there are times when we wander. Jesus is willing to do whatever it takes to find you. And that's where the cross comes into play, right? That's why he died for you, rose from the dead for you. But now I want to flip the script now. I want to talk a little bit about grief, right? So grief is grieving, and grief is a part of what's going on right now. It's normal. It's something that even Jesus experienced with one of his friends, Lazarus. You can read about that on your own time. Google it. You'll find where it's at. But I also want to talk about like how we process, right? Processing grief takes time. Just processing life in general, the season of life that you guys are in, takes time. And in Luke 15, we see a shepherd who doesn't give up on searching for the one lost sheep. In the same way, God walks with us through our pain, our struggles, our insecurities, our fears, our fill in the blank, and he wants us to help us process and heal from whatever that may be. That's where Jesus comes in. That's why I like to say Jesus won. Okay, so how do we learn though? See, life can be fragile. Some of you guys have stories where you can relate to that, where maybe you've experienced a broken family, you've experienced brokenness in relationships, you've experienced maybe some defeat in sport. Now that you're at the high school level, sport isn't as fun or as easy as it once was. There's more pressure, there's more expectation, there's more competition. Coaches are a little bit harder on you. It's just different. So we all handle life, and as fragile as it is, differently depending on the season of life that we're in. But see, we can honor Jesus, and we can honor the call that's been placed on all of us by making sure, and this leads to what I really want to talk about today, by making sure that nobody ever feels alone. Just like that shepherd was so determined to go after that lost sheep, that one sheep that really didn't mean much. If he just lost one, I think that's money. That's a part of his inventory for his job that his boss would have asked him about, but it was just one. But the shepherd went after it. The same way Jesus is chasing after you every single day through relationship. And so here's my challenge for us. So in the case of what just happened here, earlier in the week, when somebody takes their life or loses their life, a lot of times we want to honor that individual or honor maybe what had happened. My challenge for you is simply this. I don't know what grade all of you are in here, but I know some of you personally, so I know what grade you're in. But my challenge for you is if you want to honor the call that's been placed on your life by Jesus, because we all have the same call. If you want to honor an individual, or if you want to honor maybe the what your family stands for, but more importantly, what Jesus stands for, here's my challenge. And here's where I want us to land before we go into our discussion today. My challenge for you is this room is a safe space. If I'm being honest, athletics is usually, at this level at least, are more safer kids, suburbanized kids that maybe just kind of have a little bit of a head start in a sense of you're on track maybe more than other kids in the building a little bit. Not all of you, some of you. That's probably fair to say, just based off of just working in different schools and being around these programs and knowing coaches and knowing some of the kids in the programs. And that's not a knock. But my challenge for you is this. The same approach that Jesus takes, where he's constantly chasing after you guys. He loves you. He cares about you. He has a call for you, and he wants to be in relationship with you. My challenge for you is it's not supposed to just be for you. My challenge for you is there are, how many people in this building, Sevi? 3,400 people. That means there are, if I get my math right here, Mr. Reed, he's not in here, 3,399 people other than you in this building. And that's not counting staff, right? Or is it? That's not counting staff. My challenge for you is from this point forward, never come to an FCA huddle by yourself. And don't come with the person you came with today. Because if I'm being real with you right now, FCA is really not about us. It's about the rest of the building. I don't care if they're an athlete or not. The reason why FCA exists for me as a coach, I make mistakes all the time as a coach. I freak out when I probably shouldn't. I approach a kid the wrong way when I'm trying to coach them. I yell at an umpire when I shouldn't. I do the wrong thing. And I can say the same thing probably about you at times as an athlete. But what I'm trying to get at is FCA is about taking the platform that we've been giving as athletes and using it to proclaim truth. That's what FCA is all about. Taking the platform that you guys have and using it to shine the light that God has given you because he's in you, he's all around you, to shine it on the field, on the pitch. See, I know my soccer terms now because I'm a soccer coach. I'm coming for Sam's job, and I'm joking. Never. Anyways, but taking the platform and using it to influence the coaches that are on your staff and the team that's on your staff. Because everybody matters and everybody has a part. And no one should ever feel alone because hope is on the menu.